Hi everybody, it's Geordie from Geordie's Cards. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm here creating another card for the Kraft Roulette show. So this is the card that I'm going to be submitting for that. And these are the products that I'm using today, mostly Lawn Fawn today. So I've got the Lawn Fawn platform pop-up. I also use the platform pop-up add-on as well. I've got Lawn Fawn's Happy Harvest stamp set, and I've got the coordinating dies for that one. It's one of my favourite stamps, this one. I've also got the Lawn Fawn Purrfectly Wicked stamp set. I'm just going to be using that little cat. And then I was going to use this one, but I didn't in the end. It's the Out of This World stamp set. I've got the Sprinkled with Joy add-on die, and I'm just using the little tag from that one. And I have the Lawn Fawn Little Flowers die set as well. And I am using this Concord and 9th freshly picked stamp set. I'm just going to be using that tiny little Pick Me stamp from that one. And then I have the Lawn Fawn Sweater Weather Remix 12x12 paper pack. Quite a few things today. So I started out, I've coloured and die cut out all of my images, and I'm using this little flower pot from the Lawn Fawn Little Flowers die set. And I'm just, I've cut it from some Kraft Cardstock and then kind of coloured it in with my Copics. And I've cut two. So one I've just left plain. It's literally just going to go on the back. So what I want is to pop this little sunflower in the pot and have it coming up and down. What the first parameter for the Kraft Roulette challenge was a tag with pocket, or tag and pocket. So I'm using the flower pot as my pocket. It's got this little slit in it so that you can pop the flower inside it. So I'm using that as the kind of pocket element, and I'm kind of creating a bit of an interactive element with it here. So what I've done is I've coloured the sunflower from the Happy Harvest stamp set, and I'm using the little stalk that came with the Little Flowers die set. And I've just kind of created a bit of a pull tab type thing. I've just added that tab on the bottom so it stops from coming all the way out. But now I'm realising, how is that going to work? Because when I sandwich it together, that tab is too big. So I'm trimming it down. This was kind of all done by trial and error, so that it was kind of, you know, I was working it out as I went along. So but I've cut it down. It's not going to come out of that slit at the top, and I'm going to add some foam tape, and I'll cover that slit up at the top as well so that the little tab can't come all the way out. And it's going to work like a bit of a stopper mechanism. So I'm adding foam tape and just on either side of that, just to make a kind of channel for my little kind of slider to slide up and down, just making sure that that's going to work. And then I'm going to attach the back of my flower pot on top. And you're obviously not going to see too much of the back side of it, but I wanted to kind of have it covered up. Obviously, and I needed a back piece on there to stop my kind of slider piece from just wobbling around all over the place. So that was the idea behind it. So I've attached that down, and you can see my little sunflower pulls out nicely. Now, once I'd done this, I realized that I'd forgot to put the tag on. So I carefully peeled it off so that I could put my little tag on. So I've used that tag from the Sprinkled with Joy add-on die set, and just stamped that Pick Me from the Concord and 9th stamp set, the freshly picked stamp set. And I'm attaching that with a little yellow brad. And there we go. It's now all completed. So we got there in the end. And I think it works quite nicely. I did colour another sunflower, and I'm just going to add that to the back again, just to tidy it all up and make it look nice. You're not really going to see it, but I just wanted it to kind of look a bit finished. So the other parameter was colour parameter, and the colours this week was Team +2. Now I had to figure this one out as well. Apparently there's either Team Orange or Team Purple, and then you could choose 2 extra colours to go with it. So I chose Team Orange, and I chose yellow and brown as my 2 extra colours. So I've tried to keep within those colour frames. So I've taken my platform pop-up, I've die cut the grass pieces from that platform pop-up out of this yellow cardstock, and I'm just using a little bit of Lawn Fawn dough ink on the tops of this to create a little bit of shadow and interest to my grass pieces. So once I was happy with how that looked, I went ahead and assembled my platform pop-up off screen. If you have any trouble with this, Lawn Fawn do a great tutorial of how to put it all together. I didn't think you needed to see all of that. I have cut that add-on piece from the Stripes and Sprinkles paper pad in the yellow colour, and I cut my platform pop-up using the Sweater Weather Remix paper pad, using that brown kind of gingham checked type paper. And now before I put that add-on piece on the back, I am going to attach all of my images. I find this a little bit easier to do because you kind of can get into the spaces a little bit better. So I've coloured all these pumpkins. All of these come from the Happy Harvest stamp set, and I'm just going to layer them up in the background there and kind of stick them down with some liquid glue. I'm creating a little pile of pumpkins for the kind of back piece of my pop-up, and I'm going to have a little crow sitting on top of my pumpkins. So most of these images come from the Happy Harvest stamp set, which I really like. As I say, it's probably one of my favourite stamp sets from Lawn Fawn. So let me go through the parameters while I'm doing this. The first parameter, as I said, was a tag with pocket. So I kind of interpreted that with my little sunflower pot and the tag on top of it. Then the second parameter was the colours, as I said. So I've chosen orange, yellow and brown. The third parameter was light. So I'm going to be adding a sun to my little platform pop-up as my source of light. And the final thing was a black and white image. So I've got around that with my little black and white cat, which came from the Purrfectly Wicked stamp set. So it's kind of fun thinking of ways to interpret these kind of parameters and trying to figure out how to work within those parameters to create a card. And I'm finding it quite a good way to get a little bit creative and try new things. So I've been really enjoying playing along with the Kraft Roulette. If you've not seen it before, there is a website. There's also a YouTube channel, which is hosted by Mary Gunn, and she every week for me, it's a Friday night. She does a live YouTube stream with a guest, and they create a card each with the parameters that have been set. And it's lots of fun. And lots of people join in. There's chances to win prizes. So definitely go and check out that YouTube channel. I will leave a link in the description box below. But it's a great way to kind of start thinking outside the box, or if you're stuck for ideas when you're with your card making, it's a great way to give you some kind of starting point to work from, and then try and kind of create a card that fits with those parameters. So I've got everything adhered down. I did put my little sunflower at the front. I decided that big sun was too big, and I just went with this little sun that comes with the platform pop-up add-on die set. And all I did was I cut it out from the center of the bigger sun that I'd already created, so I didn't need to worry about coloring it in. And I'm going to add a little crow there to the side flying in, and you can see that my little sunflower pops up and down. And then I thought, just for a nice finishing piece, I would use the bow that comes with the platform pop-up, and I cut it from the Nitpicky Fall paper, I think it is. It's just a very small scrap that I had in my little scrap bin. So it's Lawn Fawn paper. I think it's called Nitpicky Fall, but I'm not 100% sure. It was just a little scrap that I had sitting in there, so I decided to use it up to create a little bow to go on the front. Obviously it's yellow and orange, so it works with my colour theme, and I kind of thought it tied everything in and just finished off my platform pop-up quite nicely. Once that was done, I didn't add any sentiment on it. I thought about putting a sentiment on it, decided not to. All I did was I cut the kind of little panel pieces from the add-on set, and I popped them onto the back of my panel, which is sticking up, just because obviously that smaller Stripes and Sprinkles paper is not double-sided, so it's white on the back, and I felt like that was a little bit too stark, so I just cut these pieces from that die set, and I just added them onto the back just to kind of make it again look a bit finished. But I didn't add a sentiment. I kind of just decided to leave it blank today, and I could always add a sentiment if I decide, as and when, decide what I'm going to use it for. But I kind of felt like it was just nice to leave it blank, and you could just write a little message on the back there, and it could really be used for anything. So that was it. That was my card, and that was how I kind of worked into the parameters this week of the Craft Roulette Challenge. And it was lots of fun. I really enjoyed it. I'm contemplating entering this into the Lawn Fawn Challenge as well. The Lawn Fawn Challenge at the moment is fall, and I think this would fit quite nicely with that. But I had a lot of fun making it, and I hope you enjoyed watching. If you did, please do leave a comment down below, give it a thumbs up, and please do subscribe to my channel. I would love to see you come back again. Thank you so much for joining me today. Take care and happy crafting.